So let's understand how the training will be conducted. Every one of you will get lab access. The lab access will be provided to you through a website called as labs.itversity.com. So once you are onboarded to the program, you will get an email. Once you complete the process which is defined as part of the email, you will be getting access to this page. Let me log in once. Once you log in into the page, you might have to complete the sign up process. You will get the instructions. Once you complete the sign up process, you will get a link here. You just have to click on this link and you should be able to see the lab. Okay. To access this, you just need to have browser. You don't need to install anything. Chrome is highly recommended, but even if you are using Internet Explorer or Safari or Firefox, it should work, but Chrome is highly recommended. That being said, we will also provide you the content along with the lab. It will be something like this, ITversity material. Most likely you will be getting something like mastering Python and SQL. That is the folder which will be providing to you. And you will be having all the modules related to Python and SQL. Okay. This is a bit unorganized at this time, but once we onboard you into the program, we will actually organize in a proper format. All the content you have to go through will be in the form of folders. Each folder will have something called as Python notebooks. Okay. And these Python notebooks can be accessed through browser as long as you are connected to the internet. And if you open any of these notebooks, you will be finding the cell with the video. This is called as Jupyter Notebook cell. You can see that there is some HTML related code. If you run, you should be you should be able to see the video. You can click on this and you can actually watch the video. Then you can understand whatever concepts that are covered as part of this topic. And then you have the code snippets along with the some of the things which we are trying to perform with these code snippets. And then at the end of each and every module, you have exercises. You can see that for lists and sets, there are two exercises. One is just basic tasks related to list and set. You can see all the exercises related to list and set here. And we give the problem statement, and we also provide the answer here. So you just have to come up with the solution to achieve this answer. You can see the exercises here. And there might be multiple exercises. Typically, we'll have one. In some cases, especially if they are important topics, you might have two exercises also. So in this case, with respect to lists and sets, we even have exercises related to sorting. You can see the exercises related to sorting. That way, you will be able to master all the key aspects related to sorting. Like this, for all the important modules related to Python and SQL will be published. And then we also will provide you something called as assessments at different checkpoints. And assessments will look like this. Once you go through all the important modules, when you reach the checkpoint, then you will have the assessment. This is self-assessment. You can actually take these assessments as many times as you want. We'll also provide the solutions. The way you should go through this is you just solve all the problems without looking at the solutions for the first time, and see how many you are getting correct, and also how many you are really comfortable with. Sometimes you might be able to get it right, but you might not be very comfortable in coming up with the solution. Then you can go through the solutions. Again, I would recommend you go through all the solutions in one shot, and then give a second attempt. So you can see that there are 30 plus scenarios as of now. We'll be adding more, and this is only on collections. So you will be going through all these scenarios multiple times until you get 80% or 90% questions right. That way you will get enough practice with respect to the Python collections. And it is a foundation for learning Python further, and also for the data engineering, cloud, etc. Once you master this, everything will fall in place. Like this, there will be multiple checkpoints. With respect to Python collections, you will have 30. All the important checkpoints will have, there will be 20 to 30 scenarios like this. But there will be some smaller modules but we have to have a checkpoint after those modules. In that case, we might have 5 to 10 scenarios. So it all depends upon what all being covered between one checkpoint and the other checkpoint. For example, in this case, this will be given to you after covering all the important aspects related to Python collections. And if you go back to the material, I'm now going back to the mastering Python. So you will be going through collections and you will understand all the important aspects related to collections by the 15th module. And then we'll have a checkpoint, and the checkpoint, because we are covering all the collections, file IO, etc., you will be having 30 scenarios. And then if you look at this, there are a couple of database programming modules. Okay, so we'll be adding database on top of collections. So we'll have scenarios like write a collection into a database table, read data from database table and write into a file, so and so forth. So it is combination of file IO, collections, as well as database tables. We might have 10 scenarios around this. So it will be add on to the Python collections itself. Similar to this, whenever we reach certain milestone, we'll have scenarios, and you will be going through those scenarios multiple times, coming up with the solutions until you really are comfortable. We'll also conduct live sessions, and you can seek our clarifications, and we will also assess. We'll review your solutions. We'll also assess whether you are really able to articulate and explain those solutions also, because when it comes to the interviews, you should also be able to explain some of the concepts. So there can be mock interviews, there can be different ways using which we'll be evaluating you and will be giving you the feedback. You have to work on those areas where you are weak and try to improvise yourself. And then by practicing, you have to practice until you get it right. By practicing so much, you will build the required intuition, and you will be able to articulate better in the interviews. If you are from a non-English medium background, it might take a bit more time for you to build the communication skills and articulate the things better for the sake of interviews. But for those who are already English medium, who can converse in English, who can understand English, you will be able to pick up the skills, and also you will be able to build the required confidence to face the interviews. Okay, so this is how the training will be conducted. Now, let me actually walk you through one scenario, and also how it will look like, so that you understand how the scenarios and the solutions will help you to build the required skills. Okay, so in this case, I am going back to my main folder. It have this mastering Python collections. Let me pick probably sort courses by enrollments. Okay, if you look at the problem statement, this is the problem statement. We have given a list of strings. If you are familiar with Python, you will understand this. If you are not familiar with Python, you might struggle to understand, but don't worry too much about it. We have list of strings, and you can see that we have provided all the instructions related to this. You should make a habit of reading this, understanding this. If you have any questions, you should ask over Slack. So we'll be adding you to Slack channel, which is similar to WhatsApp, and you can actually ask questions over there, and we'll clarify your doubts also. If you look at this, we are saying that this list contains different strings, and each string contains values related to these attributes: course ID, course name, suitable for our level, enrollment, cumulative rating, and number of ratings. When it comes to problem statement, it is saying sort courses by enrollments. So in this case, enrollments is this one. So we have to sort the data in descending order by enrollment or number of enrollments. Now, if you scroll down, we provided some of the code snippets to preview the data before you get into the problem. And then we are providing a placeholder in which you have to come up with the solution. And then we also provide the steps to validate the function. Okay, so all you need to do is you have to come up with the logic for the function, and then run the cells and compare with the output to see if you are able to come up with the solution or not. Now, let me provide you the solution for this problem. In this case, I am defining a variable by name courses sorted. I'll be using something called as map reduce approach. it might be too much for you at this time. It's the intention is just to give the demo about how the training will be conducted and also how the assessments can be useful for you. And that is the main intention. If you don't understand, that is fair enough. You don't need to worry at this time. Once you go through the training, definitely will understand all these things, and you will be able to sort out the solutions for these problems. So I have created a variable called as courses sorted. For some reason, my keyboard is not working. Now it is working. So there is a function called as sorted in Python. We can use that to sort. However, if we just sort the courses directly like this, it will be sorting in the form of strings. Okay. Now I'm running this, and then I am running this. Okay. It is saying course is not defined. I have to run this cell first. Let me run all these cells, and then let me create the function and then run this. Now you see data is sorted. If you look at the input is like this. After 1 we have 4, 12, 10, etc. Whereas the output you have like this: 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, etc. But the desired output is something else. We want to sort the data in descending order by enrollments. However, the data is sorted in ascending order by the complete string. Okay. Now each string have different attribute values, and these values are comma separated. So to sort the data in descending order by enrollments, first we have to extract this number. So how can we extract this number? One of the ways to explore the logic is you can pick one of these strings, because this is list of strings. So you can pick one of these strings, and then you can say s equal to or course equal to. Okay, let me actually use this here before getting into the function. Now I have created a string called as course. I have to extract this part. How to do that? The strings will have several functions. Course is of type string. You can confirm by saying type of course. It is of type string, and you can actually say course dot and hit tab. It will list all the functions that are available on top of this string called as course. We have values comma separated, and we want to split this comma separated string so that we can extract this value easily. Okay, so for that there is a function called as split. If you say course dot and then hit tab, and then if you start typing split, you can see there is a function called as split, and then you can actually give the delimiter. Okay, the delimiter is nothing but comma, delimiter is nothing but separator. You can see that the string have multiple values: the course ID, then the course title, then the suitable for or level, then enrollments, so and so forth. All these are separated by comma. As these values are separated by comma, we can actually say comma like this, and you can see that it have created something called as list. So this is of type list. You can validate by saying type of course.split, and if you run this, it is of type list. Now once we create a list, which is nothing but similar to array, we should be able to access the elements in this list by using index. So the index starts with 0. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So to get enrollments, we have to use index 3. So in this case, what I can do, I can just say course.split of 3, and it will give us the enrollments. Okay. Now you can see the number of enrollments. Now we can use this logic to sort the data in descending order. The way you can take care of sorting data based on the enrollments, not on the original string itself. You can actually explore the function sorted. Let me get the type, help on sorted function. So sorted takes a collection of iterable as first argument, and then it also have a keyword argument called as key. And we can actually pass the logic on which the data should be compared. So in this case, what we are supposed to do is we have to pass courses as the first argument, and then we have to use this keyword argument called as key, and we can actually pass the logic that is required to compare and sort our data. So in this case, I have to say lambda. Someone is not on mute. Please go on to mute. Okay. So there's a concept of lambda functions. Again, you will be learning a lot about lambda functions as part of this program. So don't worry too much if you don't understand at this time. So we can specify the logic that is relevant to pass one string here. Okay. So whatever logic we have identified here, that can be specified here. Now, if I run this, data is sorted differently. Earlier, data is sorted differently. You can see the output here. It is sorted by the string completely. That's why we got all ones, then twos, then threes, so on and so forth. Now, if you look at this output, when it comes to the sorted function, the data is sorted, is supposed to be sorted by the enrollments. But the problem here is, the problem here is there is a string. You can see the string. Okay, this string itself have comma in between. Because it have comma in between, when we use split, it is not actually extracting the details properly. That's why we are seeing incorrect results. Rather than using 3, we can also access elements from the end using negative numbers. -1 will give the number of stars. -2 will give the overall rating. -3 will give the enrollment. So instead of using 3, I can say -3. And here also we can say -3. First, let's validate that it is working fine. So this is related to only one string, which we have seen earlier. And you can see that even this one, this approach is giving enrollments for this string. And now if I use this -3 approach rather than 3 approach, now the data is sorted in a bit different way. You can see we got this course at the beginning, then this one, and this one, so on and so forth. However, if you look at the output, we want to sort the data in descending order, but the data is not sorted in descending order completely. This is, if you look at this, this is 1,100,000 or 11 lakhs 93. This is 1,48,000. But still, even though we do not specify, we got this first, and then we got this next. The reason is here it is actually comparing as strings. Okay. To fix this, what we are supposed to do is we have to typecast to integer. And also to reverse the sorting order, if you look at the help on sorted, okay, to sort the to change the sorting order, instead of sorting in ascending order, if you want to sort in descending order, you have to also use this reverse, and you have to say reverse equal to true. Then the data will be sorted in descending order. However, if you look at the output, you can see that this got 692,812, this got 692,617, this got 596,726, so on and so forth. All the data looks good except for this. Even though this is the highest in number, it came last, whereas it is supposed to come on top. Why it is sorted this way? Because the comparison is done in the form of strings, right? So in this case, when I say course.split of comma of -3, if you look at the type of it, it is of type string. Okay, and you can see here. It is of type string. Now, I will show you one thing. I'm creating 2 strings. One is score1 or E1 equal to, this is one string. And then I'm actually saying E2 equal to, and then I'm picking this value. Okay. And then if I say E1 greater than E2, numerically this is greater than this one. So it should return true if we have implemented the logic properly. However, if you run this, it will return false because they are compared as strings. When they are compared as strings, it will actually sort based upon the characters rather than the numbers. As 6 is higher, which is in the first position, compared to 1, which is also in the first position. it is saying E1 greater than E2 as false. However, if we change these two as numbers, now I am actually saying int of for both the strings, and then if we compare, you can see that it is returning true. So in this case, to fix this issue so that the data is sorted appropriately, we just have to say int of course.split of comma of -3 and then reverse equal to true. Now you can see that we got the data as expected. Now, when it comes to the solution, all we need to do is we have to provide this as part of this function. And now we should be able to run this. And then you can actually run this. There is a typo here. There is a double S. So make sure you make a habit of reading the errors. Most of the times you will get the details here. And then you can also see that it is pointing to the line where it is failing. It is actually the third line in our code, and you can see the complete code also. Now, if you go here, this is the third line, and there was a double S earlier. That's why it was failing. Now you can run this. Now you should be able to run this, and you can see the output. We got the top performing course at the top based upon the number of enrollments. You can also check the type of this list. You can also get the number of elements. We have 21 of them. We can also get the type of first element, and then we can also get the first element itself, and we can compare. So this way you can try to get the solution. Once you complete all the assessments, then we'll also provide the solutions. You can see here, you can actually go to this this problem statement for which I have developed the solution in the original questions, and you can actually compare your solution with this one and see if you are implementing in similar manner or not. And also we can debate as part of the Slack if you can come up with a better solution than mine. We can see which one is better, and we can debate, we can argue, and we can finalize whatever is the better solution. That is how you should be able to pick the skills. Now, if you are stuck somewhere as part of this learning process, or as you take the assessments, how you can get the support is one of the key questions, right? So the support will be based upon Slack. Let me open my Slack, and then let me share my screen. So as of now, I'm only sharing Safari. Now I am sharing the Slack also. Okay. Now you should be able to see the Slack. If you are not able to see the Slack, let me know, but most likely you should be able to see. So you can see there are multiple channels as part of our Slack workspace. So IT University Data Engineers is the Slack workspace. On top of the lab access, you will also get invitation to be part of this Slack workspace, and will be added to DE all students. And also there will be another channel which will be freshers. Okay. And we want to keep track of freshers separately, and hence there will be separate channel for that. Just to topics related to your interview preparation and all will be done as part of the freshers channel. All technical support will be taken care as part of all students. That is how we will be collaborating, and you can see it is very powerful. You can share the screenshots, you can share your code snippets in the form of code only rather than plain text. You can see here. So if I want to share a piece of code, if I hit 3 backticks, backtick is the one which is part of the keyboard on the left side of the one. On the left side of the one, if you see a key, it have a backtick or tilde. If you hit shift and hit that, you will see tilde. If you just type directly, you will just see backtick. For some reason, it is not responding. Now it is responding. So this is backtick. If you type backtick thrice, you can see it have provided as a code formatter. Now, if I want to share some Python code by saying print hello world, that is the code which I want to share, I can just type in and it will work. My system is a bit slow because I'm sharing my screen for quite some time. That's why it is not responding. Let me try. Yeah, now it is responding. Now I can say print hello world like this and hit enter, and you can see it is formatted well. So this is how we can use this Slack channel very effectively and get our support. So there will be your seniors who are part of our earlier programs who will be supporting. I'll be there. Ashishri will be there to actually monitor and see if your questions are clarified or not. If not, she will escalate to me and we will make sure that you get timely support without any gaps, because we value your time. Even though it is free for you, you are putting 3 months of your effort into this. Okay, even if you go for a odd job, you will be getting like 10,000 or 15,000 per month, right? So if you are spending all your full time here, even though you are not paying fee for us, you are actually investing at least 30,000 or 40,000 rupees, because you are fully focused on this training. So we value that. So don't think it is free. You are investing the time. Time is money. Always keep that in mind, and make sure you get best out of this training. If you show right attitude, I will definitely help you to take your careers to significant higher levels over a period of time. There is no magic bullet. You have to put consistent effort. You have to collaborate with us, and we will make sure that you have a very successful and smooth career. Okay. So that being said, that is about labs and Slack. If you have any questions, I'll open the forum. You can ask those questions now, and then we can conclude the session. Okay, so there are few questions. Don't unmute and ask at this time. Make sure you ask the questions only in the chat. I will go through all the questions with patience, and I will make sure no question is unanswered. Okay, so the first question is where we will get the lab access. So the lab access will be provided to you. You will be getting an email. You have to complete the sign up process. There will also be a session where we'll help you to get onto the lab, understand the environment, be comfortable with the environment, and then it is up to you to put whatever effort you can put and pick up the key skills. Then the next question is, how can we join this course? Like, what's the process to get into this program? You are already shortlisted. We will just send an email notification. I hope you have already filled our form and you got our email about the session. If you get the email about the session, unless and until you don't want to be part of the program, we will actually give you the lab access, and then we can take it further. Okay, already Ashish also answered that question. I just answered if anyone else have similar question. Gaurav is asking what all tools we get in lab. You will be getting the Jupyter notebooks with Python and also SQL. Let me actually give you a brief demo about SQL also, so that you understand how it look like. So now if you go back here, and then if you go to this one, you don't need to go through multiple folders. All your content will be in the right order. There will be only one folder under itversity-material. It will be foundational Python and SQL. In that, all the modules will be published in a right order. And if you look at some of the SQL content, let me pick this one, creating tables and indexes. If I go to different type of constraints, you can see the video. You can watch the video by just running this cell. And if I scroll down here, you can see all the content here. And also, I wanted to show you some more details related to this. Let me actually go to probably creating tables and indexes or data definition language. Let me go to this. Probably there might be some create table statements here. Yeah, you can see here. So you can also practice SQL like this without writing any programs. You can just practice SQL. You just have to add this magic command, and you should be able to run all the SQL commands in this. Okay, so you'll be getting Python and SQL to begin with. Once you are done with Python and SQL, we will be sharing the content related to Spark, Kafka, and Airflow as well. Okay, so that is what you'll be getting. But to begin with, you will be primarily getting Python and SQL pre-installed. Databases will be pre-created for you. You don't need to set up anything. You just come with your laptop with internet access, open the browser and start learning. Towards the end of the course, you might have to install PyCharm and explore how to develop the applications using PyCharm, but it is only 1 week or 2 weeks. The procedure is already shared with you, Shraddha and others. I don't know why the question came up again. Probably you might have joined late. You will be getting an email. Now Gaurav is asking, are the classes recorded or live? So you can see here, I have already demonstrated. So one thing you need to understand is you need to be attentive as part of these sessions. Okay, you are wasting everyone's time by asking the questions for which we have already provided the explanation. Okay, so when you get to the notebook, you will be having the videos, you will be having the reference material, everything. Some of the topics might not have the videos, but most of them will have. So there will be pre-recorded videos. There might be some live sessions once every week, especially to clarify your doubts. If you are stuck somewhere, there might be some live support also. We might ask you to come onto a Zoom session, and we will actually take care of setting up the session, and we can sort out your issue. Now Vivek is asking, after completing this course, how much more time and money we have to invest to become data engineers? So it can be around 15,000 money from the money perspective. From the time perspective, if you are able to complete Python and SQL within 6 weeks at your level, most likely if you put 100% effort, 40 hours to 40 hours per week, you will be able to close the essentials part within a month. And then we also have the cloud material. For entry-level professionals, it will be overkill. I would highly recommend you to start exploring the jobs after the essentials. Once you have gone through the interview process, once you get the job, you can enroll for our cloud-related course also. It will be under 10,000 to 15,000, and you should be able to keep on adding the skills that are required to excel to be a full-blown data engineer. Okay. Vivek, I hope I have clarified your question. If you have any follow-up question, you can unmute and ask. So Divyansh is asking, what kind of initial salary can we expect for freshers for application developer roles? So as per the current trend, when I actually spoke to multiple companies' leadership teams, if you try to get a job off campus, typically we'll have a service agreement of 2 years. And most of the companies will pay in the range of 3 to 4 lakhs at entry level. Okay. But after 2 years, by the end of 2 years, you will be in the range of 6 to 7 lakhs. But to begin with, if you go through us, you might get anywhere between 3 to 4 lakhs with 2 years service agreement. But you can explore jobs as part of open market also, depending upon your potential and the company's ability to pay. You might get anywhere between 3 lakhs to 8 to 9 lakhs at entry level. But if you go through us, it will be predominantly in the range of 3 to 4 lakhs, because most of our clients are small to mid-sized services companies. They will have a service agreement, and the salary range will be between 3 to 4 lakhs. By the end of 2 years, you will be in the range of 6 to 7 lakhs for sure. So the program will start immediately. After this, we will actually initiate the process. We will be onboarded into the labs. We'll conduct a session for you to sort out all the initial issues. And we will also add you to the Slack. And probably from Monday, you can put the effort. So Chanchal, with respect to this Python SQL, you don't need to pay. This is completely free. Even if you get the job also, there won't be any monetary obligation from your side. It's absolutely free for this batch. This is the only time which we'll be doing that. In future, if you are able to place majority of you, then we will be exploring the pay structure and all. But for now, it is absolutely free. As long as you show right commitment, you will get the job, and there is no financial obligations at all from your side. Okay, Chanchal, I hope I answered your question. But once you go through the program, when you actually expose it to the placements, or even if you get the job as part of your own trial, even in between the program, we'll conduct exit interview, and we will make sure that you acknowledge whatever support we have provided to you. Okay, and then we'll mark it as part of LinkedIn and all, so that we get some branding from our side. So that's the only expectations from your side. If you have right attitude and all, if you want to team up with us, there will be some other type of opportunities with us as well, like blogging and other opportunities, which I will be explaining at a later point in time. So Deep is asking, I don't get any email. What can I do? Probably he might want to add what also in between. So Ashish, ping him personally and ask his email ID, and make sure he is also be part of in our email database, and we can send him the request. If anyone we will announce now. So even though you are part of our email list, whoever is interested, you can actually ping your email ID now. Ashish will capture, and we will make sure that you all are invited into the program. So I will give 1 minute time. Make sure you provide your email IDs. Make sure they are right. Make sure you review and confirm there are no typos. You can ping to everyone. That is fine, or you can ping to Ashish only. Okay, and then Ashish will actually take care of getting you the required lab access. So Ashish, start capturing these emails. And PB is asking, sir, I got placed into one company, but they are providing training into PL, SQL, and Java, and I want my career in data science and cloud. So this course will be helpful for me. Data science is a different ball game altogether, but you will get required skills to be a data engineer. So you will be learning cloud also quite a bit. You will be exploring AWS and all those things. If you are an entry-level professional, and if you getting trained in PL, SQL, and Java, I would recommend you to stick to that for now. Don't dilute by focusing on multiple areas at your level. Yeah, stick to that. If you are in a decent job, and if the company is good, and we can talk at a later point in time. If you are interested, you can also call me. I will ping you my number, and I will do some counseling for you. And based on the counseling, you can decide. Okay, so I'm pinging you my number. Send me your full name in WhatsApp, and then I'll call you. And also you said the context why you want to talk to me. I will call you and we can discuss further. Okay, I hope I answered your question, PB. So that being said, I am stopping recording now. It seems there are no questions. If you have any questions, I still want to record so that we all capture this information. This recording will be broadcasted to you again. If you have any questions, you can review and you can get back to me or Ashish, and Ashish will take care whatever is required further. So I'll be giving 15 to 20 seconds time. If there are no questions, I will stop recording on the lab demo. Okay.